Good evening. Welcome to the ProConnect talk series. This is hosted by the Alumni Association of Venkateshwara College of Engineering. I'm Nitin Balaji, and I'll be moderating this session. Joining me is Kausalya, who will be officiating it. So as a reminder to all the listeners, you'll find links to our alumni portal and LinkedIn pages displayed. So if you're an alumnus of the college, we encourage you to register on the portal to stay updated on all the association activities. Our speaker for today is Vidya Priyadarshini Narayanan, a distinguished alumna of a college, and she graduated from the IT department in 2007. She continued her academic journey at the prestigious University of Texas at Austin, earning a master's degree in software engineering, where she collaborated with Professor Sarfaraz Khurshid on the critical area of verification and validation of software. With over a decade of experience in leading tech companies, including ThoughtSpot, Flipkart, PayU, Cisco, and Polycom, she is currently with Salesforce as a member of technical staff. Vidya is a passionate software engineer specializing in nitty-gritties of software development and brings a wealth of knowledge and practical insights to the table. Today, she'll be sharing her insights on the emerging technologies and research areas in AI. The significance of AI is undeniable, as evidenced by the recent Nobel Prize in Physics being awarded to two scientists for their groundbreaking work on machine learning and AI. A gentle reminder to the audience, please feel free to ask any questions after the talk by using the chat box or by using the raise hand feature available at the bottom of your screen. Without further ado, over to you, Vidya.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Nitin, for your kind words. Like he mentioned, hi everyone. My name is Vidya Priyadarshini Narayanan, and it gives me immense joy and pride in addressing all of you emerging SVCE alumni students. It just feels like yesterday when I was attending my third year college in SVCE IT department in the 2003 to 2007 batch, where I was working to collaborate on events as the joint secretary of the department. So today I'm here to share my journey post that on how a series of micro actions and macro decisions greatly impacted and changed the trajectory of my life towards a positive upward spiral. I'm indebted to my undergraduate alma mater SVCE, which has been the stepping stone towards enabling me to be part of the exciting world of technology, both in Silicon Valley during the formative years of my entry to technology landscape, as well as the Silicon City of India currently, which I'm part of. I come from a family where the quest for knowledge and education had always been given a utmost importance, and I had been fortunate to get an admit from a highly ranked US university. The opportunity to collaborate and network with some of the great professors whose engineering books I had been introduced during my undergraduate curriculum at SVCE. And I still recollect all the knowledge I had gained from Menaka ma'am, who used to be my professor as well during my undergraduate days. So, what is artificial intelligence and how is it influencing our daily lives? I come from a family of engineers. I had an elder brother who is way smarter and knowledgeable than me in the field of technology and AI research trends, and has always been my inspiration. My father, a marine engineer himself, who graduated from Anna University in 1972, would often surprise me with his hands on expertise in fixing and maintaining all things mechanical, be it in a ship's engine room mid voyage or on any motor equipments at home. Those were the days where neither did we have internet access on how to articles, nor could we book services like Urban Company or House Toy to fix our everyday equipment. This then brings to the actual topic of our today's discussion on how AI has gradually and definitively penetrated and influenced our day-to-day lifestyles. The shift is only going to be even more dramatic going forward. So, what is AI and machine learning, and why is discussions around it so often confused by words such as consciousness and intelligence? So, let us discuss a very common everyday use case uh, during our recent times. So I would like to ask you all as to how many ways are there to transact with the rest of the world. A helpful tip is what are some different ways do you have to make purchases, and how has these evolved over these years? Anyone could raise their hand, and any uh, any pointers on how we make transactions, in particular in India, and how it has changed during recent times. So it's just one, which is UPI. So UPI stands for Unified Payment Interface, like you all know. And starting with cash and card transactions, it has been the recent advent of how payments are being made. Via UPI apps, we are able to make instantaneous online transactions with a single click. And it is indeed surprising that India has been an early adopter of this technology compared to few other developed countries. With UPI, India maintains its position as a global leader in instant payments, accounting for almost 46% of all global instant payment transactions in 2022. As of November 2022, the platform had over 300 million monthly active users in India. And with these interesting numbers comes a very interesting concept. When we make a online transaction, each transaction is identified by a unique ID and is saved in online servers, which leads to the very interesting concept of big data and big data analytics. So what is big data? Big data is a collection of structured, unstructured, and semi structured data that is so large, complex, and varied that traditional data management systems can't store, process, or analyze it. Big data can come from many sources, including social media, mobile devices, the web, email, and smart devices. The use case that I am describing here comes under the financial transactions that we so often make via the UPI apps. Given the population of our country, with such great adoption of UPI, we are generating volumes of big data on a daily basis. Machine learning algorithms that are adept at statistical models are able to learn and understand users' purchase patterns. This in turn brings to the relevant sector in retail and e-commerce space, where AI can make recommendations. Top companies, large companies manage their inventories and stock by assessing historical purchase patterns and sales. Generative AI has been increasingly used to enhance the customer experience right from purchase through support. I have myself been fortunate to have had the opportunity to work in companies like PayU and Flipkart, which deal with loads of volumes of transaction data, which brings an interesting project that I got to work on during the Big Billion Day sale that Flipkart so famously conducts in India during the festive season. The project was greatly facilitating the scope to do targeted marketing, where by analyzing the transaction data, I was able to recommend to the sales and marketing teams the potential merchants whom we could reach back to, and which in turn resulted in a 4% revenue increase for the department. And that was all by leveraging the power of data engineering and data analytics. So this field is called big data analytics. So coming back to the larger picture, how does machine learning algorithms impact us, and how can they influence both in terms of our lifestyle choices? By analyzing social media and other online data, these algorithms have the potential to influence what you consume. Some things like as trivial as what you would like to eat, or watch, or read, or even own from a branding perspective. It can also influence where you choose to live based on the so many travel recommendations, the the vacation destination recommendations, and any other lifestyle decisions. These are all being facilitated because of the big data that is being collected based on your online viewing and digital patterns. Now that I have detailed the impact of AI in the retail space, there are few other critical sectors that these algorithms also influence. We have the healthcare and agri-tech, we have transportation and manufacturing, and in engineering we have SaaS and co-pilots, and in education as well. With the potential impact of machine learning algorithm comes the great responsibility of ethics and responsible AI. We need and the very stringent ways to ensure that the machine learning algorithms are being used ethically to influence the users in the right way. So I'm sharing here Andrew NG, who is a very leading influencer in the machine learning algorithm space. He is famously known for his work in the chatbot space called Wobot, which is a chatbot that is facilitating AI for mental health. So now that I have described at a high level about the impact of AI, I'm listing in this slides few of the leading institutions in India where higher education in the field of data science can be pursued. There are also a wealth of online communities like Kaggle, and also women focused communities like Women in Data, and also Omdina, a worldwide AI community where as students and professionals we get an opportunity to put our talents together and develop and deploy solutions to real world problems leveraging AI and machine learning. I would also like to highlight that there are a lot of scholarship programs, especially to encourage more women in STEM, that are being sponsored by leading companies like Google, Amazon, Nutanix, and Adobe. The details of which I have linked in this slide. Now that I have covered at a very high level, I would like to continue this talk to a more relevant topic that might be of interest to the students. I have I have dubbed it the Hitchhiker's Guide to Landing a Tech Job. And in these slides, I hope to give you practical tips. And the first and foremost that I would like to highlight are internships and how they are an exciting and important step towards your career development. I would be highlighting how to secure your first internship, how to succeed in your first internship, and besides internships, there are other avenues to gain hands-on experience, such as freelance and part-time opportunities, as well as how you can engage yourselves in such freelance and part-time opportunities. And also, after gaining significant hands-on experience, how can you land your first full-time tech job, where you can identify your area of interest in technology related roles and how to succeed and land the full-time job and succeed in the role as well. So who is this for? This is mainly for engineering students who are looking to break into product-based technology firms, students, undergraduate students in their pre-final year and final year, as well as graduate students currently pursuing their master's degree. So what are internships? Internships are a professional learning experience that offers meaningful practical work related to a student's field of study or career interest. An internship gives a student the opportunity for career exploration and development and to learn new skills. Apply for internships as early as possible to gain professional experience during your summer periods of college break, and focus on skills that you would like to learn during the internship. I would also like to highlight that don't limit yourself or shy away from careers in technology if you do not understand a single subject, maybe a single subject around a programming language syntax, or any subject that is difficult to grasp. The reason being, there are so many diverse roles where you can create an impact in the technology space. So in this slide, I am covering how to secure your internships. And the first recommendation and suggestion is to prioritize learning industry relevant related skills and focus on learning more, and prioritize that over any other earning opportunity. As well as, these internships help you identify your goals and interests, whether you would like to specialize in technology or in product development or in design or in data, etc. And you can apply for internships via LinkedIn jobs, reaching out to recruiters or referrals. You could network with your college seniors, any SVCE alumni, or any other friends and relatives who are in the tech space. You can also go through career sites, recruitment agencies like Naukri, Job, or Indeed, etc. And you could also join online and offline communities in your identified areas of interest, and focus on the skills that you would like to learn. And you could even offer to spend your time in the internship, where you can volunteer and focus on learning and shadowing a person who's doing the job, so that you can learn on the job. And how would you succeed in your first internship? So my first advice here is, especially after the COVID, please prioritize working from office over any remote work options. This would give you valuable time to actually meet your colleagues and seniors in person, and discuss and collaborate and share ideas in person. Second advice that I was given when I was doing my,
Nothing yet, is it? Okay.
yes, Aryan. Someone has raised their hand.
Yes, it looks like it's a mistake. I think you can carry on and we'll take the questions at the end of the talk.
Sure. Thanks, Nitin. So, this advice was given to me by my career mentor in my first internship, which was understand the bigger picture. That is, understand the business problem your company is looking to solve, the pain point that it is trying to solve for the customers, and how you could add value in that space if it is of interest to you. And the third crucial point is network to understand various roles and the company culture. This this is a very crucial step, because it would help you understand what are the different ways, as an employee, you can add value to the problem that the business is looking to solve. And it would also widen your exposure into the various types of skills that are required to to pick up for your industry relevant experience. And be consistent and send regular work summary reports to your hiring, to the manager to whom you are working with. This is a favorite time management method that I learned during my first job, which is called the Pomodoro technique, where you can work for 25 minutes stretches of focused work and take a 5-minute break. And this way you are actually focused on solving a problem, and you're also taking the frequent breaks so that you give your brain rest and reset to come back and continue on the problem solving aspect. The next important recommendation I would give is to clarify your expectations with your mentor, and don't hesitate to ask for any help when you're blocked. Pair programming is also another favorite technique that I would like, where you can you can shadow a senior in your internship, and you could collaborate with them, and you could program together. And these days, with AI trends being fast evolving, we have a lot of co-pilots, which are SaaS-based automated bots with which you can collaborate to even translate natural English language to machine understandable code, like SQL or any other programming language. And if you're looking to seek expertise in Python and data science projects, you could use Google's Code Collab feature, where you can leverage the utilities and libraries that would recommend with you that would recommend the actual syntax that is required to solve a problem. And the third recommendation is attend networking events, info sessions, and any other events hosted within the organization. And be punctual for team meetings and communicate effectively. So now I'll cover the after your internships, how to leverage on that, build on that, and convert and land your first full-time job. The very first point I would like to highlight is the importance of building a solid portfolio. For example, if you're applying for development related roles, GitHub is a very crucial and very useful platform to showcase your development related projects. Using GitHub, you can also showcase other allied projects, such as if you have an interest in data analytics, or if you have an interest in UI UX, you could use platforms like Notion, where you can create and highlight the work you have done to create a UI UX prototype or a clickable prototype that has helped solve a business problem. You can also add these links to your LinkedIn portfolio and resume and cover letter and target companies with your area of interest. Join fellowship programs to help build a portfolio, and have a positive growth mindset and treat every interview as a learning opportunity. Post every interview, write a personalized thank you note, and do ask for feedback. This would help you understand what are the current relevant industry trends and will help you work upon them. And in your free time, practice coding, design, or product teardowns consistently. What I mean by design and product teardowns is there are a lot of communities in even in Bangalore, where you can like sign up to solve a business problem by working on a project with a team of other peers, where you can come up with the prototype, and also in the product teardowns you can actually present your product and your prototype idea and explain how that is solving the business problem. Participate in competitive programming or hackathons to hone your skills. There is a If you're interested in data science, there are platforms like Kaggle, which frequently host a lot of hackathons and datathons. Pick up 100 days of project in your area of interest and consistently share your learning online. What do I mean? What do I mean by a hashtag 100 days of project? It is like for 100 days, you consistently each day you pick one tiny problem statement, and you implement and you solve that, and you share that consistently with the hashtag day 1, day 2, and so on and so forth. This last tip really helps in building your confidence in consistently learning and working towards projects in your areas of interest. And by sharing your learnings on these portals, you are able to find like-minded peers, and also recruiters and other companies who are looking to solve the problem in this area. This helps as a very practical tip to expand your options for a full-time role. So to summarize, few key takeaways I would say is: first, sharpen your technical skills by building a solid portfolio. And one thing which I can never not emphasize enough is the importance of networking. By networking, it just get over your shyness, and if you find someone interesting and working in a company that is solving problems in your area of interest, do reach out and network and try and understand and ask questions around how their day-to-day job looks like, what do they do on a daily basis, and what is the bigger picture of the role in which they are contributing towards. And leverage online platforms like Kaggle, LinkedIn, GitHub, and Stack Overflow is one of my favorite because it is a very active dev community where you can ask any questions and get answers from fellow technical folks who are passionate in this field. And stay up to date, be part of relevant online and offline communities. And this the next aspect is I can't highlight enough because we sometimes don't get to focus on that during our engineering days is how to showcase your soft skills. Participate in a lot of group discussions, in debates, in presentations, and collaborate and work on group projects where you get to collaborate and work towards a common goal. Such activities greatly help improve and showcase your soft skills. And then prepare for technical interviews, and for that you're in really good hands of the professors of SVCE, and tailor your resume and cover letter according to the area of interest for the roles you're applying. And above all, I wish you all a very good luck. Navigating the tech landscape often requires persistence and patience. Treat every interview you attend as a learning opportunity. With dedication and the right approach, a rewarding tech job is always just a step away. And the most crucial part is to be proactive and stay up to date. This field is very exciting and is ever evolving. So always approach the attitude of being a lifelong learner. Learning does not stop with SVCE, it continues. And I really look forward to keep in touch with you all. You can feel free to reach out to me for any collaborations on LinkedIn and continue learning. I have added a link of a book which I highly recommend to read in this space, AI and the Future of Power. So I have shared a link as well. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Vidya. I mean, the talk was very enlightening, so to speak. I think you gave very crucial inputs on, developing career, securing internships and jobs, and even maintaining job ethics. I'm sure this is something that is critical for all of us to imbibe, especially the students who are going to be in the industry very soon. So I think we have plenty of time right now. We finished well ahead in time, so we can open for questions to the audience. What I request is people can raise their hands. I think there's a raise hand feature at the bottom of the screen. So it's on first come, first serve basis. So anyone who has raised, we can get started. Okay, so we have the first one from Siddhartha Sivashankar. Request you to unmute your mic, ask a question, and then you can turn off after the question. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Siddharth. Hi.
Yeah, thanks, Vidya. That was a nice talk. I'm kind of thinking along the range of, what you said is kind of oriented towards the tech in terms of software or, coding, but I'm sure your recommendations are also more general. What I like to know from you is, what do you suggest? Like you said, approach your summer internships. Instead of spending your summers doing something else, go and intern. How do you do that in the different years of engineering? Like 1, 2, 3, 4. What would you do in the first summer? What would you do in the second summer, and so on?
That is a very, very apt and a really good question, Siddhartha. Thank you so much for
Thank
asking.
you.
So as you can see, during the first year of your engineering, the first semester and second semester, you would be having a lot of common subjects across departments. So your options are more wider during the first year. And
I'm
and
sorry, Siddhartha, if you can mute your mic, it's a little noisy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
yes, so so during the first year you would be having a lot of common subjects across departments. So that is a year when you have a lot of chance to sample a variety of domains. Like, what I mean by this is software and technology, it cuts across domains, and it has the scope to 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 help you add value in various domains. Like, for example, if you are a mechanical engineering student, and if you have a uh, have an interest, or and if you have an excel if you excel in software, then you could consider companies like Aether or other other companies that are looking to create transportation related looking to solve transportation clean energy related problems. So this overlaps with chemical, mechanical, automobile, etc. And likewise, if you're an ECE student specializing in and if you have an interest in telecommunication, etc., you could approach companies like TCS or Texas Instruments, and you could uh, you could sample roles like that. And as you I would say, as you approach your third year and fourth year, is where you can, if you have figured a more deeper specialization, you could focus towards that. So, to share my journey, as I was approaching my third year and final year, I was very determined to continue my education. So to specialize, I was while I was in the IT department, I had the opportunity to participate in a lot of college symposiums, and since I was more academically inclined, I got the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of professors. And I was also working with a professor from the computer science department in SVCE, and by collaborating with him, I was able to publish an IEEE paper with my friend, and this really gave me a lot of technical writing experience, which played a very crucial role in my candidature standing out when I was applying for my masters. So so to get back to your question, like, the first year and the second year, you can sample a variety of domains, and get a flavor of what it is, to understand what it is like that each domain does. And as you approach your third year and final year, you can identify a problem statement in a domain that excites you, and you can tie your internships around that. And, like, let's say you're doing an internship in your third year summer break, and if you are really able to be excited by it, you could continue on that and make it your final year project. And if you're interested in research in academia, you can like collaborate with professors and develop your expertise on technical writing, and actually publish an IEEE paper. And if you have a very inventive, and if your focus is more around creative problem solving, and if you have a very and you're very passionate about innovating something, you can even create intellectual property where you can file patents. And these are a very huge value add to your career growth from a very long term perspective. So I hope this answers your question, Siddharth.
Yeah, I did. Thank you very much. Very revealing. Thanks.
Thank you. All the best.
So we have a question from Ananya. She's asking, what makes a resume stand out for an entry level or internship position in the technical or engineering field?
Hi, Ananya. Thank you for asking the question. It's a very relevant one. So, like how I highlighted before, doing a lot of hands-on. Like, since your question is around engineering or a technical position, trying to add as much hands-on experience, or showcasing a project work that displays the skill you have built, would be one relevant uh, would be one relevant point to have in your resume. Like Ananya, if you could unmute and give, like, are you looking to specialize in any particular field, or you're asking a generic engineering related question?
Hi, yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Ananya.
Um, yes, ma'am. Actually, my area of interest is in machine learning. So I'm actually working on my to tailor my resume according to it. So could you give me some tips on it?
Sure, Ananya. So since you're interested in machine learning, if you have participated in hackathons in platforms like Kaggle, and you've also done a lot of projects on GitHub, and there is uh, there is this there is this website called Omdina, where they host a lot of projects for students who can solve real world problems. So your resume would really start. I would also encourage going through these women in STEM scholarships, and also I will share the link after the session. So if you can work on real world problems, like platforms like Kaggle and even GitHub, and even Google for that matter, they organize a lot of hackathons. So if you can showcase projects where you have solved real world problems, and if you are able to highlight the impact that was made by solving that problem through the code you wrote, that would really help make your resume stand out. And since you mentioned machine learning, while it is very popularly known for developing models, I would also like to highlight that there are several other allied roles within machine learning. For example, if you are very passionate about quality, then you can focus on data cleaning and data quality related roles, where a lot of emphasis is given to focus on what type of data is fed into the models that are being deployed. And if you have a lot of interest in math fundamentals, and if you're really good at it, then you could actually work on developing machine learning algorithms. And if you have a very strong interest in setting up processes, you enjoy you enjoy creating structure, and you enjoy setting up software processes, then there is a field called ML ops, where you can help deploy the machine learning algorithms into production. You could help there. And if you are very software engineering focused, there is this field called data engineering, where you can work with data scientists and ML engineers to help create the data engineering pipelines that are so crucial for the machine learning algorithms to be able to add value. So you can there are also communities like women in data engineering, etc., where there are a lot of online resources to get a roadmap and for within the data space and try. And if you have a very analytical mind, you can also do projects in data analytics. The example which I gave, where you can process a lot of data sets and look for patterns, and you can make predictions or inferences from the data. So to answer your question at a higher level is, have hands-on projects, and if you're able to highlight the practical impact the hands-on project you're showcasing has done in terms of, say, revenue, or in terms of a problem you are looking to solve. Like, there is a very inspiring company called Brainside.ai, where in the healthcare space they try to interpret fMRI scans, like MRI scans, and they try to make some inferences from that around different mental health conditions. So the options are many, and you could try that. I hope I answered your question.
Uh, yes, ma'am. You actually answered my question in a very detailed format, ma'am. And thank you for all of the links you've mentioned, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you, Ananya. All the best.
So I'm being told that there are students from all the departments in this talk. So it's so different domains. So they're participating here. So there's one question that came from Raisha, who's asking how to strike a balance between academics and skill development.
Could you elaborate on the question a bit more? You can unmute and.
Raisha, if you're there, you can do that.
Yeah. So basically, like we have exams, right? Monthly exams, we have this record work and all. And apart from that, we'll be having other extra like club activities and all, right? So how to strike a balance between that and the skill development? Say if I'm interested in an app or UI UX development, I want to learn more about it. Then how should I manage time between them?
Sure, Aisha. That's a very relevant question. So, if I may ask, which year and in which department do you study?
I'm from second year EC department.
Okay, sure. So one way I would recommend is like focusing your summer breaks, where you are relatively free from semester work. Uh, Engineering being a 4-year course, you can try to have a plan for the remaining 3 summer breaks and the other breaks that you have. That is one way you could prioritize. And also, when you're doing your academic subjects, you could also try. You could also definitely network with professors in your department and try and understand the practical applications of the concepts that you're being taught, how they are relevant. So so that is one way as well. You can balance your time uh, after the class hours, etc. But one thing I would like to add is definitely strike a balance between not only skill development and academic experience, but also in general life, because a holistic life, a well balanced life, really helps with your career. And look at your career not like a sprint, look at it like a marathon. Like careers are made over a lifetime. So, and in this tech landscape, the 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 technologies keep shifting, and what may be thought of as a skill in demand today may or may not be relevant. So I would say that in your formative years, focus on building critical skills like problem solving and other crucial aspects, rather than focusing on one technology that is being talked about popularly at the moment. I hope I answered your question, Raisha.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm going to add to that point. We have the HOD of ECE here. So I'm an alumnus from EC department, and I had I had worked with Satish sir, and I think it really helps to collaborate with faculty and work on research problems, and then it helps as you grow in your career, and that's quite important. So we have another question from Monis. It's a little more technical. So, the person is asking, could you say whether there is good scope for startups related to AI, hardware accelerators, and neuromorphic computing? There's an add-on question there on how to develop skills in AI ML field to enhance freelancing opportunities. And for data science competitions, Kaggle is there. What AI platform should we refer to?
Hi, Monis.
Yeah, Munis, if you're there, you can unmute your mic and make the question a little more focused for ease. Thank you.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, hi, Monis.
Ma'am, uh, it will be good if you say what's the scope for startups which could be brought related to field of AI hardware accelerators, developing new hardware design for specific sectors like agricultural medicine, like for small scale industries. If good scope is there for them, like that, if you say it will be good, ma'am.
Sure, Monis. So, to be candid, I do not have specific expertise in these fields, but I am aware of some agri-tech startups in Bangalore and which are looking to solve problems around leveraging technology to help irrigation, farming, to spray pesticides, etc. But to be candid, I wouldn't be a subject matter expert to answer in depth. Um, but but what I would recommend is, like, have you identified a startup which is working on solving this problem, or just to understand more detail as to the first question you're asking?
Still I didn't identify any startups. I feel like there would be more demand in the sector that some new hardware design will be required to handle very complex AI and ML tasks. So I'm asking if you bring startups related to those sectors, how it will be? Will it have good scope? Will the industries try to buy this new hardware design to enhance their production,
Uh,
enhance their efficiency? Like that, I'm asking.
Nitin, would you like to add to this? I think
Yes, actually, I'd love to. So, Munis, I see where you're coming from. So, when you're talking about, okay, before that, when you say startups, I think the notion of startups is like, you should think of it as an entrepreneurship venture. Why does somebody start a company? It is because they see a gap in the industry and they try to address that. So you should not see startup as something where people try something and then something works. It's not like that. So you're basically trying to address a challenge here, and then you have the skills to do it, and you know the solution to it, and you're building it. So about the AI hardware accelerators, yes, you're right. AI requires a lot of demanding hardware. I mean, GPUs. As the computing power goes up, you need more faster processors and things like that. Yes, there is going to be a lot of demand. There is a lot of good scope in that field, and if you are focused on that particular domain, think of careers in circuit design, making chips, ICs, the FPGA sectors, and things like that. So I hope I answered your question.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. I could understand. And I asked some follow-up question also about how to improve ourselves for these freelancing opportunities. Like what field should we refer? In what fields should we develop skills so we are able to get more freelancing opportunities?
sure, Monas. So Kaggle, as we called out, is a good platform, and also I would recommend that early in your career, prioritize skill building over monetary opportunities. So what I mean by this is, if you are identified an area of interest where you feel there is a good scope, uh, I would recommend building the skills required to actually solve that problem. And um, and like I mentioned, there are online communities where you can collaborate and build your skills. Google has a lot of open source communities and open source projects, and that contributing to open source technology is also a great way to start building your skills early on. One of my friends has so there are a lot of startups which also post the problems they are looking to solve, and you could sign up. I can share some links after the talk. You could like sign up for portals and focus more on the skill building rather than the monetary aspect of it. Especially if you're in your early years of engineering, uh, could do that. Yeah. Sorry, I think I wasn't more specific, but I figured you're still in your early engineering years. In general, a common skill to build is Python, and Google has a lot of open source projects as well. So you could start with that and progress. Nitin,
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the information.
sure, Manish. Nitin, if you could add as well.
No, I think you covered it perfectly. But I have a question for you. In terms of IKEA, what do you find most rewarding about your work currently? And how do you balance your work and personal life?
That's an interesting question. So what I find really rewarding about the space I'm in is how the work I do actually impacts our everyday lives, like how it makes it easy. So even my thesis specialization was indirectly at that, even though it didn't have the term AI and data science, it was indirectly solving a problem where I was actually helping automate and generate test cases for software development. But at that time, we didn't have these buzzwords. So for me, what is really fulfilling is uh, writing writing code or being part of technology which is making the end users life more easier. So the customer pain points that I solve through the creative problem solving and technology is what really makes it very fulfilling for me. And also I really get excited by insights generation. So uh, looking at data and coming up with analytics and giving insights and recommendations and inferences which can influence business decisions and in turn boost revenue numbers is another rewarding part. And yeah Your second question.
Yes, the next question was about how do you balance your work and personal life? How do you achieve a work-life balance, if I may?
Sure, Nitin. Thanks for asking. So I believe in the fact that careers are built over a lifetime and good things take time. So I always ensure that I have a good work-life balance, uh, and um and I'm a self-taught artist as well, and I've been consistently practicing fine art over the decades. So in fact, when I was working at Payu, I was also able to put up my paintings in the online e-portal in Payu when I was working. So that way I like to mix work and play, because hobbies and doing things outside of your academics is very crucial to ensure that you really enjoy and you're actually living a wholesome and fulfilling life. And volunteering and giving back is another way, which also helps me find a balance and look at the bigger picture, that we are all a shared community and we all have our role to play.
Thank you. We have another interesting question from Karthikeyan, who is asking, with AI advancing so quickly, is it worthwhile to pursue full stack development and UI UX design, or will AI eventually take over these fields? A very philosophical question. I'm looking to hear from you.
Yeah, and it's a very heartwarming to see Karthikeyan ask such a good philosophical question. Uh, so in fact, one of the startups I know, it's called Build Ship App. They are trying to the problem statement is using natural language. There are a lot of low code and no code platforms coming up these days where you don't actually need to know much of programming to be actually able to build an app, deploy an app, and even ship and release an app. While I do say that the question of AI eventually taking over any field for that matter, like is still an unknown, and is definitely of a lot of speculation. Like there are startups in AI which are looking to make it looking to solve problem. Like there is a startup called edge networks which try to help bridge the recruiting gap. So there are startups where recruitment is being automated. There are startups where there are chat bots where a lot of support or even mental health related conversational bots are springing up. So the question of AI eventually taking over any field is still unclear, but I would still think, I would still feel that having a creative bent of mind and critical problem solving, these two skill sets can never be replaced by AI, because it is the humans who are actually building and guiding the giving the technology the direction. So so the terms may change, the skill name may change, but eventually it is us guiding these fields. I hope that answered. You could add, Nitin. I feel you should add to this question.
I mean, I really think we are still a long way away to claim that AI is going to take over any particular field. I'm going to combine this with the next question on embedded system resources that can be used to develop skills in the job in that field. I mean, embedded system would require a lot of coding, so to speak. There are a lot of AI systems which uses, you can get ready-made codes, you can demand algorithms and things like that. You can try and test it on those things. It's quite interesting to see how machines use, these codes. And I've seen a lot of lacunae in sense that, you request for an algorithm and the AI system still struggles to give an exact code that would solve the problem. So that gives me reassurance that AI is there, but it is not going to replace us, at least in the near future. So that's my take on about AI taking over different fields. And the question about embedded system resources to develop skills, I think I'll take that question in the sense that you will have to find out examples, take up hobby projects, try to fix a problem, something as simple as uh, collecting data from a sensor, plotting it on a system, and things like that. You start small, but eventually you'll end up with problems that are very pertinent and vital, and you can develop your skills accordingly. So that's my take on Abhirami's question.
I would like to add to Abhirami's question that one famous problem statement is around healthcare, embedded systems in healthcare, like Fitbits and other wristbands are very popular these days, and even companies like Google, they are looking to crack that problem where we are able to leverage embedded systems to measure biometrics like heart rate, uh, even with diabetes being very prevalent. If we can measure blood sugar levels and other BP levels, etc., and also pull the data from smart apps which track your activity data, your sleep data, and trying to collate all that and generate insights. These are some problem statements. There is a in Bangalore. There's a lab called DQ Labs. It's called Design Quotient Labs. They have a lot of interesting problem statements for students to work on. And as of Karthikeyan's question, while we are very commonly discussing will AI take over any field, I would also like to add that AI will also create jobs in a lot of new fields which we did not conceive possible. Like as we speak, like there is a whole need for AI ethics and responsible AI for policy makers and decision makers to to look into which how much what can and cannot an AI algorithm uh, collect from data and about privacy and data protection and risk assessment and fraud risk management monitoring. And what I would sincerely urge students is to keep yourselves up to date with the latest news and trends. And look at it in a very, because it is exciting to see the possibility of several new jobs that would be created as the tech landscape is evolving.
Great. So I think we have hit the 1 hour mark. Talk was exciting. I mean, you gave us really insightful presentation in terms of all the information that we just got. So I think we'll head towards wrapping up this presentation. So a couple of things from our end. We request all these students to sign up on the alumni portal with your SVCE email ID. And also consider giving your feedback on the session. There is a form that is available on the chat. You can also give it to your faculties concerned, and I'm sure the feedback will come to us. So that's it from our end. Thank you all for joining us today.
Nathan, excuse me, one more question from Chidambaram in the chat box. Maybe we'll stop with this. As of now, I'm interested in VLSI. Is there any possibilities to sustain in the field for long term?
That's an interesting question. Without VLSI, there is no AI. I mean, AI is built on fast computing chips, and that require VLSI for sure. So no way is VLSI going to fade out. So I'm sure it is going to even sustain for a longer term than any of the other technologies. That's my take on the subject. Vidya, if you have something to add.
So the grad school I went to had a flagship VLSI course, and Austin is actually the semiconductor hub where there are a lot of flagship courses on chip design. And I would also recommend following NVIDIA and other companies to keep up on the latest trends. And in Bangalore, there is Texas Instruments, which has been operating in this field. So I would urge you to connect with people working in this domain to get a better accurate picture. Yeah.
Great.
Thanks, Nathan. Thanks, Vidya. It's been great. For the last 1 hour, we don't know how the time went on, and almost all the students, they have interacted, and I think many more are interested in asking. So you can, both of them are alumnus. Anytime you are welcome to communicate with them. Thank you so much, Vidya and Nathan, for your time. It was great connecting with you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I really remember attending all your classes, and it's giving me a lot of joy to be able to connect with you, and hope to meet you in person someday too.
Sure, Vidya.
Likewise, ma'am. So for all these students, we have more exciting talks lined up. So stay tuned. Just register yourself on the portals, and I'm sure you'll get a lot of information from there. So if everything's up, I think we can wrap this here. Good night and have a great weekend, everyone.